The significance of Kant's theory is in the ability to. Now, the passage uses two terms quite extensively, that is epistemology or epistemological and ontology or ontological. These two terms have often been compared or even juxtaposed with each other. Let's assume that we don't know the meaning of these words. If we do, that's wonderful. But if we don't, there's still a way to answer most of the questions of this passage. Option A here says, relate epistemological belief to ontological belief. This is incorrect. We can see this from the very first statement. Kant allowed to each belief its due, and this is the real strength, insight, and wisdom of his theory. To the epistemological belief, direct acquaintance with phenomenal objects; to ontological belief, the independence and separability of things in themselves. In this, we find that Kant allowed each belief its due. Then the epistemological belief is mentioned and the ontological belief is mentioned. They are not equated or related in any way. So to say that the theory was able to relate this belief to that is incorrect. So option A is eliminated. Option B says, range in interpretation from relatedness to distinctiveness. This is true. This plays a little on synonyms, or it simplifies a few phrases, but it can be seen from this line. To the epistemological belief, this is where Kant allows each belief its due. This is the real strength, insight, and wisdom, or in short, the significance of Kant's theory. To the epistemological belief, direct acquaintance with phenomenal objects. To the ontological belief, the independence, separability of things in themselves. In this, we see that these two beliefs, these are the implementation, the application of Kant's theory to these two beliefs or these two processes of thought. In this, we find that the range between epistemological belief and ontological belief is given by direct acquaintance, which can be connected with relatedness, and independence and separability of things, which can be equated to distinctiveness. So the range of interpretation from one to another given by this phrase, from relatedness to distinctiveness, that actually makes this option quite valid. So B can be qualified. Option C tells us, resolve paradoxes of knowledge and provide a fresh perspective on undecidability. This is incorrect. We see this from the third statement. It's a distortion. From the second statement of the first paragraph. We can avoid the strange and unsatisfactory aspects of Kant's theory, resolve the Cartesian paradoxes of knowledge, and approach undecidability from a different direction by re-examining the priorities of the fundamental beliefs. So in this, we find that what is mentioned as resolve paradoxes of knowledge and provide a fresh perspective on undecidability is something that we can do to avoid the strange, unsatisfactory aspects of Kant's theory. Resolve the paradoxes of knowledge, approach undecidability from a different direction, or get a fresh perspective on undecidability. These are things that can be done to avoid the strange and unsatisfactory aspects of Kant's theory. So this is definitely not something which gives the significance of Kant's theory, quite the opposite. So C is eliminated. Option D says, transition from the absolute nature of philosophy to that of epistemology. The first thing is that this does not connect with the aspect of significance of Kant's theory. This is one important aspect, but this does not give us the significance. Rather, it is actually connected with the failure of the theory of Kant and Descartes. Despite the deserved reputations of both Descartes and Kant as having pushed epistemological questions to the front of philosophy, their results are still spoiled by their failure to make their revolutions thoroughgoing enough. They are still part of the transition from the primacy of metaphysics to the primacy of epistemology. So first off, this is something which does not relate with the significance of Kant's theory. In fact, this is where the failure of these two theories or similar theories is mentioned. The second aspect is it does not talk about the absolute nature of philosophy or metaphysics and that of epistemology. Rather, it talks about the primacy of metaphysics or the primacy of epistemology. Even if this mentions supremacy, it would still work out. But absolute nature, that's quite a distortion. So D can be eliminated. The correct answer is option B.